Hello, 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 my beauties. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Viv here, and this is my Sunday Live. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let me just check one thing that it is working over on YouTube. So we might briefly get some feedback. So just hang on. Oops. I'm going to not do that. Yeah, it looks like we are live. Hey, greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome. Really happy to be here. Sorry about my squeaky chair. I'm going to have to get rid of this chair. I'm going to have to get rid of it. How are you on this beautiful Sunday? Welcome. I see you guys coming in. It is I'm supposed to start at 2:45. I apologize being a couple minutes late. I could not. Let me know. I'm going to ask a lot of your feedback. I really want to know. I always lose one earring, right? So I got one earring and then I can't find the other earring. And so that is really partly why I'm late. So how are you all doing? Say hello in the chat. Don't just walk into a room and be silent. Consider this a room you have walked into. All right. So today's video is traveling solo, over 50, right? 50s and 60s and upwards, right? I'm seeing. And I put the subtitle, let's see, as questions about this country. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a regular viewer, and so let me introduce myself. I'm always like, how do I present myself? I'm a certified yoga teacher, okay, since 1994, 94, okay, the last century. Yeah. And I've been trained in meditation and energy healing, and I'm a mystic, and I'm an artist. So there, so welcome. And I offer services. The links will be below. I do energy healing sessions. I coach women who are stressed, who want private coaching, teaching them literally meditation, mindfulness, and other practices to immediately get their stress level down. Okay, so do check that out. So, traveling solo over 50. I'd love to know if you've ever done it, right? Tell me if you have traveled, especially internationally, like not that you got on a bus. Like I can do that. So, getting started, I am leaving in a few days, less than a week. And I don't know if you can see behind me. I mean, I tried to position things. That's a, wait a minute. I am dyslexic, guys. Genuinely. This is a big bag of cat food for Percival that I just got, right? Because that's one of the things, the cat is staying here. So I'm going on a trip. And those of you who don't know, I'll say the country in a moment, in a little bit. But yeah, I'm going on a trip. And it's my first trip by myself in my life. So I did come to America from the Caribbean with my mommy. So that was, that was fine. I was nervous, but mom was there. And I also traveled previously internationally with my best friend, who some of you may have heard me tell you that a friend who is a shaman, like that's all she does, like not full time, but she's a shaman. And she said he was actually your twin flame. So I've traveled with him, but he passed away, and our favorite country was Italy. So actually, let me show you guys a picture. So I want your tips, and yeah, hang on. I'm gonna get a picture of us, I think, and it's a picture of us, I think, in Italy. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so don't laugh at my frame. Again, this is for you if you're interested in doing new things in midlife. I'd say even 40s, 50s, and 60s. And you see a lot, especially now, I feel like for Black women, this is a time a lot of us are getting out there and joining and getting into that travel, that solo travel, and all of that. So you do not have to be a Black woman to be interested. I would say I'm speaking to women who want to do anything big that's a little bit scary, and we can just talk about some of our fears. Okay. So let me just clean off the picture frame. Okay. So, and this was his picture frame. So this is us in Venice. And that's him. That's my best friend, Ken, and that's me. Look at how black my hair was, you guys. Literally, when I see photos, and women will relate to this, when I see photos of myself when I was younger, my hair color was so black it looked like I was dyeing it. I'm like, that is like jet black. Like, wow. Yeah, and I was not. I was too young to be dyeing it there. So yeah, I know it looks fake in the background, and you can see there's a guy here, and his shirt says Hard Rock Cafe, I think. He's like a worker guy, and he's like, oh Lord, more tourists on that damn bridge. So this is my first time traveling without him, traveling internationally, and yes, so I'm going to Italy again. And it will actually be the third time, but that was like 20 years ago. So I want to talk to you about some of my fears, some thoughts, and also encourage you to take risks, and especially if you're over 50, because I think that Western society, especially, doesn't really, it's still coming to grips with, with women, mature women, and where we fit in society and our value because we're such a youth obsessed society, right? Let me know what you think in the chat. Say hi if you're just joining. Okay, so the first thing I want to say about this is, yeah, so I'm nervous because I've never done it before. Though what I said to myself is, Viv, and this maybe can help you if you're nervous about something new, going out of your comfort zone. I said to myself, hang on, there's this thing has like it's okay. It has a weird thread that will hang out if I don't put it on right, but it's fine. You guys love me either way. It is not perfect. Here we go. This is a little shrug that a friend was moving, and she's like, here, take some stuff. And I'm like, you know what? It's weird, but I like it. Um, so yeah, I'm nervous about it, but with my friend, with Ken that I just showed you, I would do all the travel planning. So all of the planning I always did anyway. I would get the airline tickets, and I'd ask him, well, how many days do you want to stay here? He's like, oh yeah, no, that's good for, yeah, 5. That's good. I would do everything. Okay. So it's not that I'm unfamiliar with, you know, booking the things and so on. So, hey, we're talking about traveling solo. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome. Especially traveling solo over 50, or kind of, even if you're not over 50, if you've just never done it before, especially going internationally. So there's so many things. So I just wanted to share. And if you have any tips, put them in the comments, put them in the live chat. Okay. I would love that. And because I don't tend to pre-schedule my lives and have so people know exactly what time, often when I'm ending the live is when a lot of folks come in. But so I want to share with you, given the work that I do and the channel is about, I want to share some intuitive insight. So I always pull cards for myself for the week, right? Let me know if you do that. And I want to show you guys this, like, for real. I pull many cards. I pull them in a row, and then I read left to right. And like, if I do a reading for you, that's how I do it. And so this is from the Traveler's deck. And so the first card is answering the call, and look what it says. The time is now. And it's about going through that door, answering the call from spirit to take action. So I was like, okay. And then you guys, really beautiful. The next card, talking about the card that I got for this week, was Wise Leader. You're a beacon for others. And that I needed to hear that this week, because I did just start a membership space, a membership community where I can have my teachings off of YouTube, and where you can be in closer contact with me, um, off of YouTube and off of Facebook. Okay. But this is the card I want to show you. Look at this. I got this 2 weeks in a row, 2 weeks in a row, faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. And it's about travel. It's saying you're going to take a trip that's going to be significant. Guys, 2 weeks in a row, got the same card in the same position, in that third and final position. So, Spirit is always talking to us. Spirit is always giving us clues. So if you're nervous about something, get quiet. That's why I teach meditation. Get quiet, get centered, and tune in. And whether it'll be a book falling off a shelf, or laying there in a public place, or a friend mentioning a book to you, Spirit will always be communicating with you. So you'll always be getting guidance. So I just wanted to show you that. If you pull cards for yourself, or you can also, like I said, come to me for a reading. But yep, wise leader, answer the call, and faraway places. So you might have questions. What questions do you have for me? Why am I going to Italy? And I want to talk about some of the problems, some of my I don't want to say fears, because I do think you speak things into existence, but I think we're in co-creation. It is not all our creation. Okay. I just refute that. It's co-creation with spirit. So don't ever feel or get into blame for yourself, because sometimes things are karmic. It could be a nation could have karma. I've said this before, and let me know if you want me to speak more on that. So traveling solo, over 50, right? Doing new things over 50. And I wrote questions about this country. So I do have some questions about Italy. Question number one, and I know probably for most of you, or many of you, is, well, why did you choose that country? As a Black woman, some folks have had bad experiences in Italy, some Black folks, and others have had amazing, wonderful time, loved it, or were like neutral, like it was great. There was no problem. Both are true. Both can be true, because I really want to share this from my heart. There's a lot of talk, of course, and a lot that we see in America where, many people, myself included, say racism. What I will say is racism is a real problem in America. Does that mean that every American is racist? Absolutely not. Okay. So when and I'll say people of color, we travel to a country, um, there absolutely can be racist in that country. It's more about, as I think it's Rashida Dowd, somebody I first heard call it, just anti-Blackness. That is a thing, okay? That is absolutely a thing. So I look at it as, what percentage of the country, what percentage of the people are strongly racist, a little bit racist, or neutral? Okay, let me know in the chat what you think about this, because this is a real issue. Again, nothing to do with age here, but if you are a person of color, um, and you could be Indian, you're going to have a different treatment. If somebody thinks you're Muslim, you're going to have different treatment. Okay, so this is for real. My channel is about spirituality and manifestation, but these are genuine issues. So I want to know what you think. Come on, guys. I can see the numbers. I see you're watching. Maybe you're just listening. Some of you might be driving. So I'm going to keep sharing, because many more are going to watch this on the replay. So that's my first question is, I'm not going with is Italy racist, because I don't believe that, but here's more important. That's not the reality that I want to interact with. So absolutely. In fact, I know certain regions of Italy are going to tend to be a little more, have a little more racism. So that's not where I'm going, but you never know. Okay. So I'm not afraid of that. Hey, if you're just joining, I'm talking about traveling solo, over 50, especially for women, but whatever, guys, I have to come up with a title. All right. So don't let the title put you off. And I have questions about this country, and the country is Italy. So if you're just joining, and I'm just going to show again a quick picture. Usually I travel with this dude who was, I was told, was actually my twin flame. You can see, people would think we were brother and sister. But he has passed away. And we went together to Italy twice. I'm going again in a very few days. So I am nervous. Give me some tips. I know I'm not going to Nepal. I know I'm not going to, going to a safari or going to a country that's, I don't want to name countries because I don't want to stereotype countries. But so yeah, I'm worried about, that would be a concern, is my treatment. But here's why. So let me weave it in. There's many layers to this. I'm not just like, so again, I do not label any country, well, except maybe the US, as a racist country. There are racist people in every country. It's a matter of degrees and how many of them are, and do they become violent? As people talk about China, for example, I'm going to be really honest with you. You guys know I get my Chinese herbs from a Chinese person. English is still not great. I've been going to them for like 30 years on and off. I brought clients to them. Okay. Yet Now, these are Chinese Americans. Yet many Black people go to China. Sometimes people are like, oh my God, they've never seen a Black person in person before. So again, I don't believe in blanket statements, but there are definitely some regions and some countries where it's a little bit more, tenuous, right? It's a little bit more like, I don't know what these people are they see me and they're calling out Beyonce or, they're calling out something. All right. So I have to share with you again, back to the spiritual. A good friend of mine who is training to be a meditation teacher. If she watches this, she'll know who she is. So she was tuning in for me. She's like, just on her own. I didn't really ask her to. And she goes, yeah, when you say Italy, why Italy? Get this. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not letting anybody dissuade me. I'm going as an exploratory trip, right? This is an exploratory trip. And she's super nice. She's not one of those people who are like, you should just stay home. The world sucks. She's not like that. She's like, yeah, when you say Italy, it's just like, eh. And then I specifically, and I may or may not say this later, I gave her a specific place that I'm really scouting. And she goes, oh, when you say that, it's a very different energy. I was like, well, yes, I am intuitive. So she's like, oh, it's very different. When you say the whole country, I get a different vibe for you. But when you say this region, it's like, oh yeah, it feels different. So isn't that cool? So I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, traveling while Black, traveling while female, traveling while old. I should just call this video that. Yeah, anyway. So let me know, have you traveled internationally? And you're probably not catching this live or you're busy, but let me know in the chat. Say hi, say hi. So that's my concern, was how will I be treated? Again, given the migrant crisis in Europe, and there is a rise of the right wing, not just in our country. Yes, I'm talking to us Americans. Europe is drifting to the right very strongly. Italy is, Hungary is, I think there are a couple other countries. So let me pause there because you guys may know, I got partial funding for this trip, right? For my solo travel. And it came through my art. And that's a surprise. And so I think that's what this card is like. Yeah, take the action. Don't be afraid. Answering the call, right? The time is now. Because honestly, and again, let me know if this was you. COVID just screwed everything. And I know now it's way kind of in the past for many of you, but it's definitely still having an impact. I've had people come to me for readings who are still at the point that I was reading for them, were still stuck coming out of COVID. They definitely had trauma. They had COVID trauma. Okay. So that's a real thing. So I want to show you some books I got. Two are just for fun, but real quick, the funding I got, which just pays the airfare, is to do, let me see how I hold it. Okay, so Black Africans in Renaissance Europe. I'm not going to try to talk about it because I think guys might not be interested enough, but let me know if you are. I'll just say briefly, when Kenny and I went to Italy 20 years ago, we saw a painting with a Black man as an oarsman on a gondola. And we were both like, oh my goodness, there he is. Look at him. And he was dressed really well. He had like a feather in his cap, the tights on, very colorful dress. And so did the other gondoliers. So he definitely was like equal in class to them or whatever. And it was just interesting. Again, we're both artists, my friend Ken and I. And so years later, that became the basis for me getting this grant because I said, I am really interested. Again, I'll try to make it quick because you guys may not be interested, but those of you who are, give the video a thumbs up. I'm really fascinated because of this immigrant crisis, African folks coming into Italy illegally. I'm talking about just illegal folks, right? Coming on boats. I'm fascinated by their plight and the whole human drama of it. And the fact of Africans that were enslaved in Europe, they were mostly coming in. In fact, there's another woman who I've reached out to her who has a book about Muslim slaves. So they were not always like black. They were African, maybe sub-Saharan. They were different parts of Africa, but there was also a trade where specifically Islamic people were working on ships, and then they stayed in Europe, obviously, when they weren't sailing, when the season wasn't right for sailing. So I'm interested in that during the Renaissance, right? And this now, where before they were brought in for work, commerce, right, for that society, and here where they're wanting to come in, and I want to explore that in my art. Okay, so let me know. Hey, beautiful love. So that's what um, because I'm going to say this, real art is about ideas. Real art is about ideas. So yes, I could paint your dog. I could paint a beautiful portrait of you, but a lot of contemporary art, the artist explores ideas. So I wrote that up, and that's what got me the grant, and that's why I have this book, which I am not going to be able to read this before. This is like a textbook, has images, so it'll help me. And in Italy, I'm supposed to find paintings with um, people of African descent. I want to sketch them and find out more, and then I'm going to make artwork about it. So that's part of why I'm going to Italy. All right. Hey, beautiful love, how are you? Welcome. Have you traveled abroad? Um, just for sharing, just for the community. Any tips for me, especially traveling internationally? Could share them, please, please, please. I don't want it to just be me talking. So the other two books I got, so I've been to both these places before, so I'll be going to Venice, and hopefully I'll do some lives from there. I'll be going to Venice. I'll be in the Veneto, which is the region, and then Venice. It's cheaper to stay a little bit out of Venice, and then I also will be going to Florence, Italy. And you guys, there is a store there because I love perfumes. I love essential oils, right? It's part of my healing practice. And there is a store that started in like the 1300s with the Benedictine monks, I want to say. They had land, of course. They're monks. I think they're the ones with the bald head, and they were growing herbs, and they would make medicinal herbs and things. And so I went into that shop the last time I was there, and it was beautiful, you guys, like beautiful wood carving, because the shop is maybe from like the 1400s. Okay, it's Italy, everything is like old, a lot of things are old. And bought this perfume that I just love. So I don't know if they'd let me film in there as a YouTuber, but I hope to definitely go to that scent shop again, that's been around since like the 1400s, and see if I can get a scent. Beautiful love. Yes, you got your passport. Awesome. Awesome. Ooh, I love did you do that with AI? That is beautiful. Good for you. Um, everyone get your passport. So let me stop there. I talked a little bit about me. I want to give you some more advice. Um, in terms of this election, I am worried about it. And here's why I'm worried. I'm worried because if Donald Trump wins, I'm worried. Again, just based on things that he has said and actions that he's taken. So that is not prejudiced against him. That is not, it is what the man has said and done, and what I've seen of him over the years when he was president. Okay. So for me, morally, I cannot, support someone who says things, on camera, hasn't even tried to say he didn't say them. I can grab him by the blank. I can do whatever I want, get away with it. He said things like that, like on the streets in New York. I think he said, I can do whatever I want. And just his other statements. Again, this is not paranoia to say, you simply have to have looked at history. He is mirroring a lot of the talk that happened pre and during the early rise of Hitler. And it is troubling. His own men who have worked with him have come out and said he admires Hitler. Okay, so that's not someone I can get behind. Uh, in fact, didn't matter what my race is, I have to say, I literally, it's not about, oh, he doesn't like black people, which, to be really honest with you, I don't think he does, but I don't think he has there's no moral compass there. The moral compass is, how can I benefit? How can I get richer? I don't think he likes many of the people who are going to vote for him. Let me know what you think. I mean, truly, do you see? I'm a New Yorker. Okay, I'm not saying I know Donald Trump, but I grew up in New York City. And before he was like super, super famous, and he was on his show, but he was getting famous, he has a certain reputation. Okay. And like we're talking early stuff. And again, caught on tape saying things, going into youngish girls' dressing rooms at beauty pageants, things like that. His supporters never can address that. When you ask them that, they're not able to. So I'm glad you got your passport, because what I'm saying is I don't know what's going to happen um, if he wins. But also the problem is, and goddesses, let me know, and divine masculine lurking, if he does not win, why would we assume he's going to admit that he did not win? Right? Think about it. So it almost doesn't matter if he wins or doesn't win, because I think there's going to be some chaos. So that's just one thing I'm sharing with you guys, as we still have freedom. If I think it's good to have your passport. So yes, I'm really, really glad you do. I'm really glad you do. So what else am I nervous about in terms of traveling to Italy? Yeah, say hi. I see the numbers going up. Say hi so I can greet you. If you have a channel you'd like highlighted, say hi, where you're from, or just hello, hey, I'm here, a heart. Let me know. So I'm not just, listen, I'm in my house talking to a computer. Help me out here. Good, 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 good. Hello, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. All of us who grew up in New York City knew he was a grifter. See, listen, it's like if you grew up in a small town, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to use my small town as an example. We have some people who are crazy in my small town. Seriously. I've mentioned this before, but harmless crazy. And then more recently, I have seen some people who their mental health seems to me they could potentially be problematic. Okay. Again, I'm a New Yorker. I get vibes really fast, really fast. And Ian, because I think it's an Ian, not an L. That if you grew up in New York, you have, because we see a lot of crazy, okay, in the city. So my point is, even in my town, we have people who we know amongst ourselves are a little bit crazy. You give them a wide berth, or, you can chat with them, but they're a little nuts. Once you talk to them, they're going to go on for 50 minutes on like one topic. They're like way on the spectrum or something, just weird, but that. So again, with Donald Trump, this is a man that in his own words have said things that Obama could never have said, ever, 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 ever. Any other president could never have said and gotten away with, right? And yet he's Teflon. What that tells me is it's not just a populist movement. I think there are people very high up who want him in power. So it's not that our votes don't matter, but I do think there are people propping him up that are not just his populist supporters. And again, to them, these are people, honestly, if they didn't hate Black people, I get along with anyone. The thing is, there is a lot of racism in his more grassroots supporters. And my point is, the point I was making is, do any of you who are New Yorkers, in your heart, Donald Trump wouldn't want those people in his limo. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. The man, they're like, oh, he's for the little guy. Oh, please. Oh, come on now. We're talking delusional. I'm not even trying to hype Kamala. What I'm saying to you is we know this. We have a history we can see in his own words, in his own actions, right? And so it's like how bad, and it does show you. So we have this woman, mixed race woman, Black and Indian. Fine. He's going to say he's confused about what she is, like two different. You never have seen that before. You've never seen like somebody who is, I don't know, Kenyan and I don't know, and the mother is Samoan. You've never seen that. Wow, in history. Okay. Right. So Donald Trump is confused by this. So again, get your passports and just be aware. Be aware. I don't think we should live in fear, but what I'm talking about is it's a scouting trip, and it's also hopefully a vacation. So yes, it's even the people who support this candidate for president on his own, he would never be friends with them. He would never be hanging out with them. He just wouldn't. It's just no. Have you seen the inside of Trump Tower? I mean, he made it to be ostentatious. Like his apartment, they said he doesn't even really live in that part. It was like this, it was like for Louis the 14th. It was disgusting, actually. Right? They're like, he doesn't, like, he lives in the more like other part because you can't even live in it. It was so like gilded and like pompous. Anyway, I move on. I move on. Thank you, Ian. Zephora says, I love that you'll be traveling in Italy on a grant to do your artwork. Thank you. So no, I'm going to do the artwork when I come back. So I have to go to all these museums. I'm going to sketch and if I can take photos, take photos, and, finish reading this book, Black Africans in Renaissance Europe. But like I said, it started with my best friend when we saw this little tiny, he was about this big, you guys, huge wall painting, beautiful painting of the Venice canals. And he was just rowing his boat and he had his little stance. And it was so cute because we both turned to each other like, that's a black man. Look at him. And not that we knew that, but to see him in a painting was different. And it was a kind of a documentary painting of life in, how they move around the canals, right? They're on the boats. They got to get on the boats. And apparently there were gills, which I knew. There were gills of, oh, I work in leather, or, oh, I'm an iron worker. Oh, I'm a gondolier. And so some of these enslaved Africans then were freed or finished their term of indenture. And so I'm just curious. Like I said, I want to contrast it with the current migrant situation that is stirring up Europe. Because I'm really moved by it. And as you guys, and as I'm an immigrant myself, right? I didn't have to come over on a boat and nearly die. So great. Thank you guys so much. See, I love it when you talk back and tell me if there's anybody I need to block. Okay. Again, you guys know me. I consider myself a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person in that sense where some people are religious but can be very closed-minded. But so as a spiritual person, I cannot support, I'm back to Donald Trump again. Yes, inflation is out of control. I know it's going down, but yeah, it's been bad, right? There've definitely been things that I would like to see different. But if it's a choice between someone whose rhetoric and speech and behavior, I mean, he was friends, you guys, real quick. He was friends with the pedophile who hung himself in prison. On the right, really quick, on the right, if you just scour the internet, they're all like, yeah, Clinton, and this guy. There are multiple pictures of Donald Trump with this pedophile, laughing with him, girls in the picture. That just never like hits them. They're just like, oh, I didn't see that. And he would talk about it. He would talk about loving young girls and like, oh, they're so beautiful. And it's not even like he had a different front. He didn't. He wasn't like, oh, I'm a saint. And he was like up in everything, especially if you go back to the 80s and 90s when times were different. I'm just saying. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you. So Ian says if Kamala was half Martian or even 1/8 black in America, thank you. Let's not even look. If you're in certain places in America, and you can be as light as can be, and I'll be really honest with you. I was looking at a picture really quick. So this is off topic slightly, but you got me going, of I think it was Jessamine, and she's a black yoga teacher. She would say she's fat. I think she's like, yeah, I'm fat. And so she's breaking down barriers in yoga, right? So you don't have to be really, really skinny blonde woman to do yoga, or a skinny black person, which was then the next move. You could be fat and do yoga. And she has a picture with her, someone she worked for, who they together are supporting her and putting her yoga online. So I was like, cool, girl. Now I'm looking at the woman. The woman is as light as can be. If you looked at her, you would think she was a white woman. But to black people, I just looked at her. I was like, that is a black woman. But back in the day, she could have passed. My point being that yes, Kamala, in this country, if you do have a slight tint, people are just not, for some people that will be enough to set them off. It doesn't matter. They're a quarter. There are people who hate mixed race people, you know, and it's like, it's just a hatred. Yeah. I'm baffled how he pulls. I know, Ian. Listen, it's a cult. The first tenet of a cult is only listen to me, the leader, charismatic leader, and their truth is the truth, is the only truth. Once you believe that, it doesn't matter what other people say, because the truth, they've told you this is the truth, right? And that's why he started, they started first with fake news. Fake news. Oh, that's fake news. Oh, okay, okay. Once you accept that, right? Nothing coming from outside there, you like literally like, oh, oh no, that's not real. No, no, that's, oh wait, that's not, oh wait, no, that's not real. Till you're looking through like a pinhole. So yeah, it's fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. Yes, beautiful love. I'm gonna try, and so let me show you. Thank you for asking that. Please, I found this. This was too cheap. It's probably because, so I bought this set. So check this out. Is this the tiniest thing? I didn't know it was going to be this small, people, but I could hopefully be in a cafe. Look at these little legs. It looks bigger on camera. It's barely 5 inches. Okay. I don't know. You'll be looking up at my chin, but so I brought this. So if I'm sitting somewhere, and then this is a microphone that I brought that's going to go onto my iPhone. And then supposedly this little remote. None of this has been tested, people. So I won't be like, this is on my laptop, and I apologize. I know it's always a little bit blurry. But StreamYard, it can't work. StreamYard, the app I use, so I can put your great comments up and everything. I It's more complicated. I think I need Safari to use it on my phone. So my phone has a much better camera, but I can't get the software to work on the phone. So that's why I film these on my laptop. You're looking at me on my laptop. But hopefully when I'm traveling with this little dinky ass thing I bought here, look at this. Okay. We'll see. I have not even tried it yet. And the phone is supposed to clip. All right. I want to say it was like 29 bucks, and my little remote. So yes, I'm going to try to. Absolutely. So, and if I'm able to, the pictures will be much nicer. Okay. What else did I buy? So I bought that, and then they sent me two. Actually, I think I ordered three by accident. I clicked, it didn't show that I bought it. I clicked it again. I was like, it didn't purchase. Then I clicked it a third time. Lord, lot of mercy. Then I wanted a makeup thing. Go to TJ Maxx. You guys know what I want. It's not that complicated. Any of you, men too, men buy this. It's a travel makeup case, whatever, you know. And it's the kind, what I wanted, it has the little hook at the top, and you hang it and it opens down, and you've got your toiletries. Do you think TJ Maxx had anything like that? They had stuff for like 2 year olds. It was all pink. I had the woman in the store laughing because I just pointed at one. I go, what is this? And she just, I said, I'm just something more mature. Pink, not just pink. I actually like pink, but it just stuff that looked like it was for a 12-year-old girl. I'm like, I can't buy this in good conscience. So this is the best I got. This big old plastic thing. And then I got this. I just got this. I don't even know if it has um hold on here. Is this an unboxing? This is not what I wanted, people. And then I did it, and it has one container, for your little lotions and your makeup and all this. So this was the most mature looking thing. It wasn't that expensive. So that's what I also got. But if I had gotten my act together, I would have gone to Amazon and ordered a proper travel toiletries case. Amazon has tons of them. A year ago, when I thought I'd be traveling, then when I was having the passport issues, which are now cleared, I had ordered, but the thing I ordered, it turned out to be really tall and deep, and it just wasn't user friendly. So I sent it back. So I think in terms of what I've got, is what I've shown you. And then, and I have actually a really, I don't want to open my closet because you guys will, it's like, it goes up to like an attic. So I got this really cute red rolling thing, very high quality. And I'm just going to try to do carry on. Yeah, I'm just going to try to do carry on. So yeah, any tips for me about travel? Put them in the chat, please, please. I've never traveled by myself. I've made the plans. I've made the decisions, but what I like about traveling with someone is you can be like, should we leave this restaurant? They're not even coming to give like what's going on? Or do we want to go to this museum? Like, I like that banter, right? So, but yeah. So also I am feeling drawn. So back to the spiritual point, and to encourage any of you, male or female, if you feel drawn, I've always been drawn to Italy. And when I was there, again, many years ago, and before really the whole migrant thing and the kind of shift to the right and the rhetoric and everybody just getting meaner and over tourism. Okay. So I don't blame Italy if Italy's having like a bad moment. Okay. Because Spain, they're throwing water on the tourists. I don't know if any of you have seen that. They literally got like water guns and went up to people they thought were tourists and sprayed them. And it was horrible. But their towns are being taken over such you literally can't live there. You can't live there comfortably. So I understand that over tourism is a real issue. But when I was in Italy, I was navigating Venice. I'll just hold up a quick picture here, right? So this is Venice. You guys, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful city, you guys. Many people go for one day. It's ridiculous to go to Venice for one day. The churches are like museums. The churches have beautiful paintings you've seen in books, like mostly Madonna and Child. I'm not going to lie. It's mostly, Madonna, child, chubby babies everywhere. Okay, in the paintings. But what was I going to say? With Venice, they're even starting a tax. It's very low. It's like $5 to enter the main part because they literally want to track how many people are coming in. So many people are so dumb. I'm sorry, I'm going to call it dumb. When they visit a famous place, they only go to like the spot they saw on Instagram. With Venice, you could go, oh my gosh, so many places, and it's beautiful, and go during the off season. So this is off season. So I'll share about that when I get there. And afterwards, once I have any footage, I'm going off season. That's partly because that's when my passport came through. I mean, I'd wanted to go in the spring. That was also shoulder season. That didn't happen. My own country was giving me grief about my passport. And that's when Spirit, again, listening to Spirit, right? Answering the call. Spirit is like, get the American. I've lived in America majority of my life, paying taxes legally as a permanent resident. Spirit is like, just get the citizenship for America. And America came through like this. Our bureaucracy just flowed. So my point to any of you watching this, even in the replay, is again, listen to Spirit, because I had fixated on the Jamaican passport, and that's how I was going to travel. And I don't know why. I was just like, I'm like, oh, I'm a Jamaican citizen. I'll get that passport instead of, well, just become an American citizen. It's a stronger passport. So I had to hear like a lot of urging inner, like it's supposed to go through America, like go through America. So let me know, you guys, are you listening to your intuition when you are doing something new? Do you listen to your intuition? Like Beautiful Love, are you listening to your intuition? Right? Because again, an Ian, Spirit, and Zifra. Spirit is always, always giving us hints. Yeah. So thank you, Zifra. I really, really appreciate that. So I'll tell you a little bit later the place I'm going. I think I don't want to say it yet in Italy, but there's a particular region, and I have mentioned it, but there's a particular region I want to explore. And I'm going to some small town. I'm like, why am I going, literally to myself, why am I going to this town? So I want to share with you and I might put this in the title, in terms of intuition, traveling solo, doing anything new. And some of you are going to laugh at me, but I think those who watch my videos, they'll understand. I look at a map. I have this thing where I can tune into land. I've said that before. I can feel the energy of land often, right? Especially, when I'm balanced and I tune in. And looking at a map of this region, I was like, go into this area. And so I then looked at little towns in that area, you guys, right? I looked at websites showing pictures to see what I thought. And get this, and this is how I chose. One town kept popping up for some reason, but then I went to look at a picture of the town, and the main picture was a beautiful picture with a double rainbow. A double rainbow. Now, many of you who are spiritual know, and especially in Tibetan Buddhism, on every culture, a rainbow is auspicious. And this picture of this town, on this website had a double rainbow, and double rainbows are considered especially auspicious when someone passes away who is a spiritual teacher. Often, often a double rainbow will appear, and that is seen especially in Tibetan Buddhism, but I think in other spiritualities as well, like a sign of their high attainment and that they have basically become enlightened. They've sort of gone beyond the world, or you could say gone to heaven, right? And so when I saw this double rainbow, I was like, okay, that's the town. Now get this, I looked the town up in detail. Where can I stay? Could not find a place to stay in the town. So I'm staying in a close by small town, which has a really like kind of silly name. I'm not even going to say it. So, and I'm like, I'll just take a bus to my rainbow town. I'm going to take a bus. Let's see how the buses run in Italy. I'm going to get on a bus. I'm going to go over there because I'm not going to rent a car. So anyway, those are some things I'm thinking about this upcoming trip. Again, if you watch this on the replay, do give me any tips you have. Another friend of mine is getting me like a money belt, but she says it goes inside, so it's not on the outside. She said it's very flat and it goes under your clothes, so I'm getting that. But if you have any tips about travel or anything like that, do let me know, especially if you're over 50. I think that was everything I wanted to cover. Um, so yeah, just recapping my fears about how will I be treated as a Black woman, as a, you know, over 50, like what, what will just be the general treatment in Italy? Will there be areas I like or don't like? Will the area I think I like be likable or not? Are people, because it's a small town, are they more kind of closed off? Are they not really, what are they used to? Are they welcoming? So that's some of the concerns. And the main concern also finding art that in Venice and Florence that has people of African descent, brown skinned people in it for my research and like seeing their life back way back in the day, right? So those are some things I'm working on. Oh, one more thing. Actually, I'm very interested, and let me know if you've seen this. Many YouTubers, all backgrounds, say that when they travel specifically to Europe, their tummy issues go away, right? I have definitely found, you guys know I was trying to be more vegan, and I definitely am. And I'm not 100% vegan, but definitely like my diet is like, you know, 90% vegan. Well, I introduced a little cheese, and guess what happened? I saw a beautiful cheese plate, something, and me was like, well, try a little cheese. It's been like 6 months. Tummy problems, tummy problems. Also, I was having more bread, stomach pain. So I want to see if in Italy is the bread different, is the pasta different, is the food quality better? That's what I'm saying. All these YouTubers are like, oh my God, not just the taste of the food, but it doesn't upset my stomach. In fact, I was watching this girl, younger Black woman, clearly had some more money. She does something with real estate because I'm traveling on a budget, okay? She said she had hired a dietitian and a personal chef in America because she was having so much trouble with her food. I'm like, wow, damn, she's like, I took it very seriously. She still didn't improve. Even the dietitian, she finally is like, look, what you're doing is not even working. I'm doing everything he's telling me. It's not working, right? It's just what she said. Then she went to Spain with her boyfriend, noticed, and she was eating meat, as I remember. And she said, ate the meat, fine. No stomach pains, no nausea. And she literally had the chef brought out of the restaurant. Get this. I need to speak to him. She said he came out of the kitchen, he laughed, he goes, yeah, that's because what's allowed to be put in your food in America, we don't allow that here. The chef came out of the kitchen and told her that, right? Laughing, like, you people, what they allow in your food is not allowed here. So I'm not surprised that you love the food and it did not make you sick. It did not make you sick. It's food. It's supposed to make you better, but it can make you sick. So that is what I'm also going to test in Italy. I'll let you know because that food quality is becoming more and more, especially as we get older. When you're young, right, you can eat a lot of stuff, it's not going to bother you. As you get older, your body does get a little more sensitive and less tolerant of injuries, of insults to it, right? So what you could eat at 14, you could chow down on a burger, some fries, and then go to bed. You do that at 50, you're going to get indigestion, heartburn, acid reflux. Okay. I'm just saying. Not to be negative, but it's true. So, beautiful love, final comment here. You're going to meet a lot of, no, thank you for saying that. Like I said, and I will be honest, I am feeling, final thing on Italy. So, what I started to say actually, when I was there before and I was in Venice, I could navigate. Venice has very tiny streets. Okay. If you've never been, it has, it was built in 1300. Okay. They didn't have cars. So the streets, and then they'll just stop. It'll end at like water. And you're like, oh, it's literally like a maze. And you guys, I felt comfortable. I'd be like, let's go this way. Now, it wasn't always like I was never lost, but I felt like I understood the streets and the sense of the place. It was absolutely, my friend Kenny, same thing. He was getting lost more though. He would be like, no, we should go this way. And I'm like, no, that's not the right way. But I'd let him win. And we'd be like, that was the wrong way, and the names are in Italian. We're like, I don't know, where are we going? Sinistra, we're going right, we're going left, where are we going? Dritti, what are we doing? Are we going straight? I don't know. So I felt like I knew the place. So I feel a past life connection there. Again, this is a woo-woo channel. So I want to say to any of you watching this, whether you feel a past life, you're drawn to Eastern Europe or the southern part of Africa or Tanzania or France, I really believe, first of all, to what Black Sit Global says, I love her. We align on a lot of things. We can go anywhere in the world. All right. And I mean this really, truly for any of us, but especially for Black folks, feel comfortable because we have been everywhere and it's one planet, right? One love, to quote, so I feel like I have lived there. Another time when I was in Rome, I was in front of a tiny house that is now converted to something, and I got this weird feeling, almost like a dizziness and a sense like, and the sunlight was hitting it in this beautiful way, like golden light came on. It was like, oh, and I was like, I've been here before. Like, I didn't even know why I was near this building anyway. There was a pretty bridge, you guys. And I was like, I've been here before. I know that house. And so all of us, you may have a country that truly for this life is where you're supposed to be. I don't always think we're born in the country we're supposed to stay. Like I said, I was born in Jamaica. Even in my astrology chart, it says away from their home for long periods of time. Like they travel away from their home country. Swear to God. Get a good Vedic astrology reading. I'll put it in the chat. It's called Vedic astrology. It's very good at predicting and telling you, like, yeah, Vedic astrology. And so my chart, several different astrologers have said, yeah, this is part of your chart, that you move away from where you're born. So I think for many of us, just be open. Don't, and many places are cheaper to live than here. So don't think of moving as just for the wealthy. Yes, I understand. We have more support here, right? So I get that. You have your family or your friends and you know the system. So we'll see. We'll see. So this is a scouting trip and a vacation. And so when I get there and I get over the jet lag, I'll start filming maybe just shorts or really short videos. Because yeah, I can't spend all the time filming. And if I film also, I may not, they may not be edited. So I might do just some shorts just to show you some sights, right? Oh, look at this. This is the Piazza San Marco, which is gorgeous. There'll be a lot of pigeons. I'll show you that. And then maybe I'll try to make some longer ones. So, all right. If there are any questions or anything, any last questions? And if you're watching the replay, put the questions in the comments, right? Because you're not able to put in the live chat, but put it in the comments. I would love to hear, again, any tips other than wear my money belt inside my clothes, keep anything to the front of you. Especially in Rome, there really are like organized gangs of kids, mostly who steal, who pickpocket. That's in a lot of cities in the world. I feel like not in New York City. I've seen a solo. Last thing, guys, I have such a good eye. I'm not saying I can't be robbed. Foreign countries can be a little different. I have the type, probably because of meditation. I have seen pickpockets working when the person they were pickpocketing didn't notice them. I was behind someone one day. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. The person's walking like this. The pickpocket did their steps. Can you see my fingers? Like exactly in step with them. Got right behind them, like right behind them, in step with them. And I saw them putting their hand right down into like, it was like a purse that was kind of long. And I'm watching like, oh no, because I'm like behind them. I'm like, oh no, you're not. And I think they got, I don't remember, but I think that their hand went into that person's bag. I also once, when I was in Whole Foods, I saw a gang of pickpockets. I realized who were working together. It was interesting. They were different races, which I think was also literally to kind of play into stereotypes. Meaning, like, I think one person was black, one was white, and there was a third person. It was almost like one was a distraction and one was the actual. And I saw it, and I think then security caught them, and I watched a little bit as they were like kind of like interrogating them or talking to them. And the third time in a store in New York City, same thing. I'm watching this woman, and this was before like mass pickpocketing. It was, the person was subtle, and I'm just like, yep, there you go. And so I'm just saying, I truly hope that the New Yorker background, which can make us talk too fast, make us abrasive, much like people in Paris, I hear, that they can be rude. It's the same thing. When you live in a really big city, right, you're not always the warmest because you got too many people coming at you. But hopefully my New York City instincts will serve me well. And thanks for all the well wishes. And yeah, once I land, and I probably not the first day, but the next day, I will post a video. All right. Mwah. Much love. And hopefully I haven't bought too much food that I won't be able to eat before I go. Okay, that's another problem. Bye for now. And if I will still be doing like readings, if I won't, you won't be able to book that day. But if you would like an energy, my energy healing session, and that's what I'm really recommending now, because it includes divination for you as well as shifting your energy. If you've been stuck, right, and getting what you want, to happen. And the testimonials are there. And people have felt, when I'm working with their chakras, they're like, oh my gosh, I felt this area start to get warm. It was amazing, because I was testing, and I had clients at a distance, because I know I can do hands-on. I was a massage therapist and studied energy healing that way, but it was a test for me as well, because distance healing was new. But the testimonials are on the page. Let me put my website before I go. Hold on. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll be sitting in a cafe all day or in a museum. So maybe, hold on, one-on-one chakra energy healing. Check it out. That's one. That's a service. Not everybody's into groups. And beautiful love, you may be interested in, oh Lord, let me see if I can find that community. I'm starting a community page, again, like a site where I'll have yoga videos, I'll have different meditations, I'll have things, hold on, let me just pull it up, because it would be great for those of you who you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you'd like to have regular contact with me and learning, okay? And it's literally like $11 a month. And let me just see if I can put the link in, and I will put it also below. So I'm starting it off of YouTube. It's private, and it's where I will put spiritual content on the chakras. Here it is. Hold on, guys. Let me get the link. Chakras, energy healing. So that's this. It says Goddess Membership. It says Viv Williams, and then Kartra. You'll see it. All right. And I will also put this below. This is brand new. Again, it's for those of you who, working privately might be too much, but you can afford, $11.99 a month to get content that will be exclusive there, as well as some of my most popular videos. I will edit them so there's not, like if there was a long intro or anything, I will take that off. And so some of the most popular content will also be there as well. So you can just watch it, do the yoga class, and go straight into it. Okay. So I hope that serves you, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.